So I've been thinking about this thing that happened at my friend's kid's birthday party last weekend. The mum kept apologising to all the parents, saying, "Sorry in advance for all the sugar rush. They're about to go crazy." And it got me wondering, is this actually true? Does sugar really make kids hyperactive? So I spent the last 2 weeks diving into the research on this, and what I found was surprising. This is a story about how a single idea spread around the world, became accepted truth, and has been shaping parents' decisions for decades, even though the science says something completely different. Okay, so where does this idea even come from? I wanted to understand the origin story. It starts with this guy, Dr. Benjamin Feingold, a pediatric allergist in San Francisco. In 1973, he published a book claiming that artificial additives and sugar were causing hyperactivity in children. The idea caught fire. Parents everywhere started connecting the dots. Kid eats sugar, kid bounces off the walls. It made perfect sense. But here's what's interesting. As this belief was spreading throughout parenting culture, scientists were starting to actually test it. And the results? Well, they were not what you'd expect. I found study after study going back to the 80s, all testing the same basic question. Does sugar actually make kids hyperactive? So let me walk you through how these studies work, because the methodology here is really important. Researchers take kids and give them either sugar or an artificial sweetener. But here's the key. Neither the kids nor their parents know which one they got. This is called a double-blind study, and it's designed to eliminate bias. 1994, no difference in behavior between sugar and placebo groups. 1995, meta-analysis of 16 studies, same result. 1998, another study focused specifically on ADHD kids, same result. But the big one, the one that should have settled this debate, was published in JAMA in 1995. That's the Journal of American Medical Association, one of the most prestigious medical journals in the world. Dr. Mark Woolrack analysed 16 different control studies involving hundreds of children. His conclusion was unambiguous. Sugar does not affect the behaviour or cognitive performance of children. I'm looking at this study right now. The data is clear, comprehensive, and it's been replicated multiple times since then. But here's what I find fascinating about this story. Despite all the evidence, the belief persists. Most parents today still think sugar makes kids hyperactive. Surveys show that over 70% of parents believe in the sugar hyperactivity connection. So what's going on here? Well, researchers tested this too. In one study, they told parents their kids had been given sugar, but actually gave them an artificial sweetener. The parents still reported their children as being more hyperactive. Think about what's actually happening at a birthday party. You've got kids in a new environment, lots of other excited children, games, noise, stimulation, probably staying up past their bedtime. Sugar consumption just happens to coincide with all of this excitement. But correlation isn't causation. There's even a study that looked at kids on Halloween, the ultimate sugar consumption day. No correlation between candy intake and hyperactive behavior. So if it's not sugar, what actually does affect children's behavior? Well, the research points to several things. Sleep deprivation. This is huge. Kids who don't get enough sleep show behavior that looks exactly like hyperactivity. Environmental overstimulation. Parties, crowds, new places, and here's an interesting one. Artificial food coloring. Some studies suggest certain food dyes might affect behavior in sensitive children. Not sugar, but the colorings found in sugary foods. Oh, and caffeine. That chocolate cake at the birthday party, it contains caffeine. The soda, definitely caffeine. These substances actually can affect behavior. So what's the takeaway here? Well, for parents, this should actually be reassuring news. You don't need to be the sugar police at every birthday party. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying sugar is healthy. Too much sugar can lead to obesity, tooth decay, and other health problems, but hyperactivity isn't one of them. This story is really about how ideas spread, how they become cultural truth, and how scientific evidence sometimes struggles to compete with intuitive beliefs. We think we see cause and effect, but sometimes what we're seeing is just two things happening at the same time. The scientific method exists to help us tell the difference. If you found this interesting, there are links to all the studies I referenced in the description down below. And if you have any ideas for other widely held beliefs that you'd like me to investigate, let me know in the comments.